Oh, hi. I heard that you were teaching Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and I instantly fell asleep. Because that's how we feel, isn't it? Like when you know that you're about to teach a story like Adam and Eve, that you know that your kids know really, really well, you're a little worried because at least half of the boys are gonna be asleep before you get to the word Eve. You just say Adam and they're like, heard it before, I know what happens, I'm bored. Yeah, and it's a real problem. Like, I'm being funny, but it's a real thing. Like, you have to teach the actual lesson, like you have to teach on Adam and Eve, but we know the story. But here's the thing. Do you have kids or grandkids? Or maybe you are a child. You can play too. Imagine with me. Remember. Think back. Do you only ever watch a movie one time? Have you ever seen a movie 2 times? 3 times? 4 times? 5? Anybody seen a movie like 10 times? Yeah, I bet a lot of us have. Which means the problem is not that we know the story of Adam and Eve, because you've seen a movie 10 times. You know the story. There's no mysteries about what's going to happen. So that's not the problem. The problem is this story typically has no tension, no creative angle. It's not interesting, right? See, when you're watching a film, there's music and there's an hour and a half narrative and there's moments of tension and moments of being funny and moments of seriousness. It's like this wonderful roller coaster for those of you that like roller coasters. But a great story keeps your attention, and you can listen to a great story multiple times and it keeps your attention every single time. So I hope you can see how the actual story of Adam and Eve is not the problem here. The problem is the approach. If you don't have a clever approach to the truth of the Bible, if you don't have a clever way to tell a familiar story, it's probably going to be boring. So let me share with you one method. This perhaps happens to be my method, and you can take it, or you can go to betterbibleteachers.com/Adam, and you can see it for yourself. My approach involves, let me scroll down to the lesson script, past the songs and the games. I suggest you talk about food. Because number one, who doesn't love food? And number two, you're talking to kids. I mean, how many kids love a McDonald's Happy Meal, right? Like my kid does. So talk about food, but don't talk about McDonald's. Talk about a food court. That's right. Because think about it. What were Adam and Eve in? They were in the Garden of Eden, right? Because we're not changing what the Bible says. We're just bringing a little modern day comparison to it so that we can better understand the way they probably felt and the way this story went. So Adam and Eve are in the world's biggest food court, right? And the way the story goes is, no matter how weird something looks or no matter how something maybe smells, as soon as someone says, you can't have it, there's a little bit of something inside of us that says, but I can't have it. I kind of want it now. Well, that's where we go here. And we talk about Adam and Eve being at this amazing party. See, God had created this entire garden and put them in the middle of what we might imagine as like the world's greatest food court, a giant party, and they can eat whatever they want. And then we get to that beautiful tension where the serpent talks to Eve, and the serpent says, Eve, do you have a good memory? Are you sure that God said you shall not eat of any tree? Right there. Can you see how just being prepared with a few moments of tension and a creative angle and your storytelling ability, you can make this yours, and you can make Adam and Eve, even that familiar story, super interesting. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to betterbibleteachers.com/Adam, A-D-A-M, betterbibleteachers.com/Adam, and I want you to get this lesson for free. Download it, print it. There's songs, there's games, there's everything you need to have a spectacular weekend in Sunday school. And then I want you to let me know how it goes. Deal? All right, I'll see you there.